The government just deemed me unborn. When it was first announced, my mom tried to send my brother and me away. Our elderly are our most precious population, our 70-year-old president announced via public broadcast. That is why, effective immediately, all individuals under the age of 18 will be designated as unborn and will be subject to compulsory organ donation for those in need. The broadcast was cut halfway through him outlining a yearly lottery where every child under the age of 18 would be put into a draw. Adulthood is when we decide, the president told our horrified nation, if your children deserve to be born. You're going to stay with Grandma, Mom told the two of us, ushering us into the car. But we weren't the only ones trying to escape. The roads were packed with cars, families trying to run. We got as far as the Canada border before Mom was tackled to the ground, a gun pointed at her. Freddie tried to run and was caught, dragged to his feet. As unborns, we were stripped of our rights. I pretended not to see the man's sickening smile when he pulled the trigger. The guard's lips found my ear, more of a breathy laugh. That includes parents attempting to evade the rules, kid. My brother and I were delivered back home in a police cruiser to find Dad hanging from the ceiling fan. Dad wasn't allowed a funeral, and as unborns, Freddie and I wouldn't have legal ownership of our parents' bodies until 18. Until we were deemed born. My first lottery was in March, spring. The days were warmer and the sun felt nice on my skin. After my failed attempt to die on my own terms, I was pulled from the tub by the house mother, dressed in white according to the rules, and taken to the town square. There I was shoved into the other kids standing in two clinical lines, girls in dresses and boys in pants. Freddie stood at the back, head bowed, his eyes glued to the ground. We had already said our goodbyes the night before. Nora Fleetwood. A man in a suit held up a folded piece of paper with my name. Maybe I should have dug the razor in a little deeper. I didn't speak, didn't scream, when rough hands grabbed me and pulled me to the front. The crowd of kids were forced to clap, forced to be happy I was about to be revoked of my born status. Thank you, the woman smiled widely at me. Thank you for your sacrifice and your willingness to give back to our nation's elders. Freddie didn't call out my name. He stayed still, frozen. But when I was herded away, I heard him. Nora! His wild eyes found mine, lips curled into a snarl. Nora, run! I didn't run because there was nowhere else to go. If I ran, I'd be shot in the back of the head. Treated like precious cargo, I was gently lifted into the back of a white van for immediate transportation to the nearest hospital, along with 5 other kids. A needle was slid into my arm by a man in a white gown, and I slept for a while, dreaming of what-ifs. If that announcement was never made, Mom would still be alive. I would be in my sophomore year of high school. I'd be thinking about colleges, Ivy Leagues, boyfriends, parties. I was half-conscious when bright light blinded me. Opening my eyes, I was inside a clinical white room, my wrists strapped down. I blinked, my flickering gaze finding a tube in my arm. Thank you. A woman's voice startled me. There was a figure sitting by my bedside, haloed in white light. The woman grasped my hand. Thank you for stepping forward to help my dying son. I flinched away from her, clarity blossoming. I'm here against my will, stupid bitch. I slurred, tugging at my restraints for emphasis. A boy around my age sat next to her, his head bowed, hands clasped in his lap. He looked pretty young for an elder. The woman stood slowly, smiling down at the boy. I'll leave you and your donor to speak alone. The boy didn't move, offering a mumbled, sure. When she was gone, I propped myself up on my pillows, giving a half-hearted yank to the straps pinning my wrists. May I ask, I said, still slightly high on anesthesia. I blew a raspberry, testing my swollen tongue. What skin cream do you use? The boy's head snapped up and my breath caught in my throat. He was beautiful, almost inhuman, ethereal, porcelain white skin. His head of brown curls was crowned with bone threaded with flowers and tangled green, eyes a vivid, unfamiliar shade of green that stole the air from my lungs. Everything about him was sharp, his lips curled to reveal razor teeth, ears harboring distinct points. I didn't fully hit me until he stood up from the chair. "You look pretty fucking good for a 70-year-old," I muttered, my voice slurring. "I'm sorry," the boy whispered.